The following segment is sponsored by Creative Society.
Most of us don't understand the inner workings of our heating and air conditioning systems. We just want them to work. That's why we leave the details to the pros at American Veteran Air Conditioning. And Sean McGraw is joining us today. Hi, Sean.
Always a pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. You get a lot of questions out in the field. One thing that comes up all the time, homeowners like to assume they need a bigger AC unit, but bigger is not always better, right?
No, just ask my wife. No, seriously, ask her. We took out a 5-ton system out of our house, or equivalent of 5 tons, and I brought that down to a 4-ton system. At the time, we had a lot of humidity problems, and the unit was short cycling. We just moved in, probably, been there a couple years, enough to see the trends on there. But yeah, most definitely, when I put that 4-ton system in there and sized it properly, humidity went down. We could keep the temperature at a higher rate, or a higher temperature setting, because humidity will pull a lot on you. I mean, obviously, if you're feeling clammy, then you're wanting it a lot cooler. So where I was at about 70 degrees, I actually raised the temperature up to 74, and we're comfortable in there now because we got about 45% humidity in the home.
There's a lot of science involved, too, because determining the size for the unit, you mentioned the load calculations. Talk to us about the factors that are taken into account there.
Yeah, a lot of those factors. That's what I had to take into when we looked into that new home is, what's really going on within this place. So the infiltration was a big deal. That home was built a lot tighter, and I tightened that house up a lot more after we moved in. That extra cooling was not necessary. Other factors of insulation we added in, things to make the home more efficient, but that changed what was going on mechanically with the coolant system and the heating system. So I didn't require that anymore. So what was happening is it was short cycling, it wasn't running long enough, and we weren't pulling the humidity out of the home that we needed to, which is why we're a lot more comfortable in the home now. Because after we made those improvements on the home, I also need to modify the system to adjust for that. So now it runs for a good 30 minutes, pulls out the humidity as it needs to, and we're perfectly comfortable at 74 degrees where we used to have to crank the temperature down to 68 to not sweat.
Well, and you talk about that humidity, the sweat. What are the symptoms, I guess? What's happening if the unit is oversized? A homeowner's going to realize it's not right, aren't they?
Yeah, and a lot of times when we pull this in a conversation with a customer, I equivalent that to driving to a destination in your automobile. So the least efficient way you can get somewhere is every time that you're off in a start position is hit the gas as hard as you can just to get to the stop sign quicker, and then stop, and then floor it again. Well, essentially, when your system's oversized, that's exactly what it's doing. It's doing everything it can to keep up with the demand for a short burst. It satisfies itself, it stops. That's not efficient at all. And in addition to that, it's not giving it time to pull out the humidity, to pull out the moisture from your home to allow you to be comfortable at a higher temperature. Because if it's 65, 70% humidity in your home, you're not going to be comfortable. You're going to feel like you're living in the Amazon. Whereas 45%, 50%, you can lower that temperature or raise that temperature and be a lot more comfortable and save a lot more on your bills.
And everybody wants to do that. Meanwhile, between air conditioning, heating, installing those systems, maintaining them, homeowners feel like they have a lot to keep up with, but they do not have to because of your full Battle Rattle, your all-in-one plan. Tell us what it entails.
Yeah, the full Battle Rattle is, we're taking care of everything for you. So in essence, we're putting everything out, make sure that you're completely comfortable for 10 years, a whole decade. You don't have to worry about nothing. We got a brand new system that's being installed, no matter what it is, as long as it's between 1.5 ton and 5-ton residential system. If it's a furnace AC, gas pack, heat pump, split heat pump, whatever it is, we're going to replace it. We're going to make sure you're comfortable. It's going to be sized right. It's going to be done right. Because it's done right, we're also going to be able to maintain that system for the entirety of the 10 years. So we're going to take care of that system for 10 years. We're going to cover any repairs, anything that's going on with that system. So we include all that, and it's $149 a month. And it's been extremely popular. It's been really receptive, and customers have been loving it. So evidently it's doing something right. And I'm really proud of that because we were able to listen to our customers, receive their information, and say, you know what, we got the product that you want. We're going to deliver it, and we're going to do it our way and exceed your expectations.
Well, people are going to love working with you and having their expectations exceeded. They can contact American Veteran by calling the number on screen, 435-0822, or visiting the website, AmericanVeteranAC.com. Sean McGraw, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. God bless.